Welcome to Running the Table, the podcast where we run through everything on the table in the world of college basketball. Unfortunately, skipping over the Oakland game, but that's just how life goes sometimes. But you couldn't miss this game, with Purdue traveling to Alabama to take on the number 8 Crimson Tide on their home floor. But without further ado, let's run it. This matchup has become a yearly treat, with this being the third year in a row that Purdue and Alabama have matched up in the regular season. First in Toronto, last year in Mackey, and finally this year coming down to Tuscaloosa, where the Boilermakers would handle business with a strong showing, remaining a perfect 3-0 in these games against the Crimson Tide, and reminding everyone just who they are with a final score of 87-80. Let's get into it. This one was back and forth from the jump, a full 40-minute battle, with Holloway and Bowen for Alabama getting going from deep right away, and Purdue spreading the love between Clough, TKR, and Braden Smith. There were slow points throughout the first half, with both teams struggling to knock down some shots, but 5 minutes in, you had back-to-back-to-back possessions with threes. First Smith, then Amari Allen on the other end for Alabama, and then a kick-out three to TKR of all people. That put Purdue up by 7, but of course the Crimson Tide would fight right back into it with two quick threes from Millette and Williamson to bring it right back. It was 3 after 3 for them, and of course that's what Alabama has come to be known for. It kept them in this game in the first half while Purdue broke them down, crashed the glass, and knocked down some threes of their own to keep flipping the lead back and forth until a TKR push shot would cap off a dominant 17-point first half for him and put Purdue up 43 to 41 where we would head to halftime. The second half would start off more of the same back and forth, with some Smith free throws for Purdue and CJ Cox getting going with an and one, and then a personal 5-point run for Aiden Sherrill for Alabama. We were locked in and tied once again. Two main factors shook up the second half, though: Alabama's shooting from deep and Braden Smith. After two pretty early threes from Bowen and Reitzel, Alabama would go cold from three for the rest of the half, going just 4 for 18 for the rest of the way, although some of those came at key times to keep this game close. For Purdue, Braden Smith took over. After scoring just 8 in the first half, he would have 21 second half points, knocking down three threes and getting to the free throw line early and often, ending 10 for 10 on the half and 10 for 12 total. But it was a team effort for Purdue to stay ahead of this Bama team and crowd, as every time they pulled into a little lead, the Crimson Tide kept firing right back and getting the crowd right back into it as well. With just under 2 to go, a crucial Houston Millette 3 would tie the game up at 80 apiece, and it was time for the endgame. Enter Braden Smith. He took a tough ball screen action, got downhill, and stayed under control to get the shot to go to put Purdue back on top, and a missed three from Bowen would get the ball back in Smith's hands once again. He broke down Alabama's defense again and got Bowen in the air to force a foul and knock down both free throws to put Purdue up 4 with under a minute to play. One final stop and a couple of Clough free throws would seal this one for Purdue, and the veteran core came through once again with a final score of Purdue 87, Alabama 80. Heading to the top performers, it has to start with Braden Smith, ending the game with 29 points on 7 of 19 shooting, so not his most efficient night, and he'll be the first to tell you, but he was 5 for 10 from 3, which was crucial in this game, adding on 7 rebounds and 4 assists as well as 3 turnovers. Behind him, enter Trey Kaufman-Renn. For his season debut, he put up a monster game with 19 points on 9 of 16 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 15 rebounds, which ties his career high, and 5 assists as well as 2 turnovers. But heading over to Alabama starts with Aiden Holloway, who was a big-time shot maker in this one. He had 21 points on 7 of 13 shooting, 5 for 9 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, as well as 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover. Secondly is LeBaron Filan Jr., who had 11 points on 5 of 14 shooting, as well as 1 for 6 from 3, so he definitely had a bit of a tough night. 0 for 1 from the free throw line and added on 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, a block, and 4 turnovers. So may not shot well, but he definitely did a lot around the court. Going to the honorable mentions for Purdue, it's Oscar Clough, who really had his best showing. He continues to get better and better each game. He had 9 points in this one on 3 of 7 shooting. He still could have knocked down a couple more of those, but he was 3 for 4 from the free throw line and tacked on 11 rebounds and 2 assists. So a near double-double for him. For Alabama, it goes to Aiden Sherrill, who had 12 points on a very effective 4 of 5 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, adding on 3 for 3 free throws, and adding on 4 rebounds and assists and 2 steals for him. Going to the key team points for Alabama, it's just live and die from deep. It's pretty well known at this point what Nate Oates wants to do with his offenses, and they stayed true to it in this game. Screen, drive, kick, three. 44 of their 66 shots were from beyond the arc, and in the first half, they kept him firmly in this game. Six different players hit a three in the first half for the Crimson Tide, with Holloway and Bull Bowen knocking down multiple. But all those threes still led them to be down two at half, and they just couldn't keep up that type of efficiency from three in the second. 10 for 21 in the first, good for 47.6%, and 6 for 22 in the second half, just 27.3%. They still played very well, but I do think that led to their inevitable downfall. And that's a very real possibility, game in and game out, for a team like Alabama and their style of play. Secondly, it's backcourt struggles. Alabama is known for their guards, both past and present, and they just didn't quite get the production that they were looking for out of their three top guards, that being LeBaron Filan Jr., Aden Holloway, and Latrell Wrightsell off the bench. Aden Holloway really carried with his 21 points, like we talked about earlier, but it was more about his efficiency, especially from deep. He was 5 for 9 from deep himself, while Filan and Wrightsell combined for just 2 of 12. Those two are super talented guards. It just wasn't their night. For most part, Crimson Tide are going to win or lose based on the performance of these three guys. That's just the way they run, and they'll still be able to win a lot of games that way. And finally, it's winning the turnover battle. They may not have been great on the boards, but they certainly gave themselves as many chances as they could by not turning the ball over. Just 6 on the game as they forced 10 turnovers out of Purdue. So that's going to be crucial for them throughout the season. If they can keep their turnovers under 7 or 8 most games, they absolutely have the talent and scoring to beat most teams. This was just one of those games where the other parts didn't come through. But heading over to Purdue starts with the All-Americans. A lot of people were wondering, Braden Smith being rather quiet scorer in the first couple of games, TKR missing those first 2 games with his hip injury. But guess what? These two are still here and they are certified buckets. Braden was shot hunting so much more, shoots 10 threes, and of course hits half of them. TKR was completely dominant in the first half, with 17 of his 19 coming before halftime, and he was just running different out there. I have never seen him attack the glass like that, and that made all the difference. 15 rebounds, 8 of them being on the offensive glass. He was just so fun to watch, and I hope that he can channel that energy all season long because he was so much fun to watch. Back to Braden, he just looked comfortable finding his, attacking their unique ball screen coverage as they switched between a drop coverage that he would attack a lot with pull-up jumpers and then blitzing the screen. He handled it all and really looked like the National Player of the Year while doing it. Secondly, it's rebounding dominance. My goodness, this was so amazing to see. I don't know exactly what it was. I know TKR's energy was huge on the boards, but Clough looked so much more physical and confident. Jacobson had some solid rebounds himself, and Braden obviously rebounded really well with 7 of his own. We just got after it so much harder than we have in any of the other games or exhibitions this season. Boxing out, attacking the ball in the air. TKR tips it off another guy to get an extra possession. Clough tips the ball back to extend the play. The energy was there for all 40 minutes, and it was crucial considering how close this game was. We out-rebounded them 52 to 28 as a team, 19 to 7 on the offensive side, 33 to 21 on the defensive side. It was dominance on both sides. I hope they can keep this energy up. We looked like an entirely different team out there, like the best team in the whole damn country. And lastly, it's stay the course. The first half was dicey when it felt like Alabama just couldn't miss from 3. I was definitely a bit nervous myself when they just kept falling for them, but I reminded myself the same thing that they were probably saying on the sideline. They're going to stop falling at some point, and they did. The Boilers never wavered, kept doing their thing, didn't just make it a 3-point shootout. They kept rebounding, putting on pressure defensively, and overall just maintaining control of the game. They didn't get lazy and assume shots were going to keep falling. They stayed the course, let the law of averages play out, and things calmed down. We've come to expect that kind of poise from this group, especially the big 3 seniors, because of how battle-tested they are. They continue to be great leaders for this team, and I trust them completely to keep this up every game. But Purdue will come home for a quick turnaround with the Akron Zips coming to town. That one will be live on Big Ten Network at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Sunday, the last home game before the Boilermakers head to the Bahamas for the Baha Mar Hoops Challenge. But that's all I've got for today. An amazing statement win, and even better to see everybody playing healthy and at full strength. You don't want to gloss over any games, but I'm sure looking forward to this holiday tournament in the Bahamas and the competition that's going to come from it. Keep an eye out for more recaps. Appreciate all the love on the channel. And as always, let me know what you thought about this one. But if you want more from us, Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.